Hi guys, I am Katrina McMurtry. I am a wife, a mama, I am a teacher, and I am just processing some things and thought I would share with you all in hopes that maybe it helps. So, by no means am I any type of expert of any kind. I feel I have a lot of people in my life who have shared their story and it's empowered me. And so I want to do the same for you. So I was just thinking about getting started. And when I say getting started, it can be a health journey, it can be on a project, it can be on your cleaning chores, whatever it is. Um, but have you ever noticed when you get started, when you're wanting to get started on something, there's so much going on that you just rather not do it at all, and you just never start because you're so overwhelmed with starting. Um, that's happened to me a few times. It might be a project like my son is 2.5 years old, and I have a nice bucket full of all of his ultrasounds and all the pictures and all the things that need to go in that scrapbook. And it seems every time I get that scrapbook out, it's just overwhelming. Oh my gosh, where do I start, right? There might be some of you who have a house project or that one crazy closet or whatever it might be. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go tackle it. And then you get there and you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that, right? So I feel like I'm getting better at mastering those kinds of things. And so I just kind of wanted to share that with you. Um, you know, you don't start and then you're frustrated and then you keep thinking about it and it bothers you and then you try to start again and then you make up another reason why you're not going to start, right? And it's just always on the back of your mind. And that could be the 10 pounds you want to lose, it could be the scrapbook, it could be that closet, it could, whatever it is, or maybe a career change. It could be from small to big, it doesn't matter the size of this thing that you want to start, but when you get there, it's just too overwhelming. So I want you to think about a time that you've done something, tackled that project, or cleaned something, or whatever it is, and you did it fine. Like, how many of us, you design your new nursery for your kiddo and you loved it and you got that done and it was a breeze? I feel like MacGyver's nursery was done. I was like maybe 4 months pregnant. I mean, I think we had it finished. Or maybe you planned your wedding. No big deal. Like, okay, yeah, it was a little stressful, but you like kept with it no matter what and you planned your wedding. So you can do some of those things, but then you avoid these other things. Um, why is that? Probably because you have that why, you have that motivation because you want it so badly. Whereas, like, if it's a closet, you're like, who cares if it's clean or not, right? So, some tips or tricks to get through that, because not everything that you have to tackle, not every project, not every big, overwhelming thing, losing weight, starting a new career, whatever it is something that's going to be as intrinsically motivating as maybe planning your wedding or preparing that beautiful baby's nursery. Okay, so these are just some tips and tricks I have. Use them or lose them, but I just, again, want to share and see if it resonates with you and helps you. So I got my little list. The first thing I do, I have just sitting around me, I have just notebooks everywhere, okay? Nothing special, just lying notebooks. Write it all down. So maybe as I'm talking, you're like, I have probably about 5 things that are overwhelming that I've never started. Write them all down, okay? Maybe it is that 10 pounds. Like my things, I have the scrapbook. I have the spare bedroom closet. Like I have some house projects and stuff. And then it's like I go to get started and I'm like, ooh, like I just, so write all of it down and you can title it to-do list, you can title it projects to tackle, whatever, write it all down, okay? Then if you think about, I think it was Jen Sincero that said, well, how do you eat an elephant? One chunk at a time, right? Instead of thinking about the big picture, so maybe it is a closet or a cleaning project or you're decluttering or whatever it is, instead of thinking big, think small. So for the next week, instead of me thinking I'm going to declutter my closet in one day, chunk that down into little doable tasks, right? So maybe the first thing I'm going to do is go through all my t-shirts. Cool, did that, done with that. Tomorrow, I'll go through, my pants, my shorts, okay? Chunk it down into little pieces. If it is that scrapbook, maybe I'm just going to do month one, or however you organize a scrapbook, not my expertise, but chunk that down to doable little tasks, and then you kind of fall in love with the results. Ooh, got my t-shirts organized. So like tomorrow I'm ready to start the new thing, the next part. I'm going to start with the pants tomorrow, right? So chunk it down and actually like schedule that in. So write it in your agenda, or if you don't have an agenda, do you make to-do list? But instead of saying on your to-do list or in your agenda or however you plan life, instead of saying clean out my closet, because that's that big overwhelming task, narrow it down to sorting through t-shirts, getting rid of some t-shirts, right? And then that is less overwhelming, and then you're like, oh, I can do that. I can take some time out of my day, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I don't know how many t-shirts you have, but that makes it a lot easier. And so then as you're doing little tasks throughout the week, or maybe this project is a month-long project, then you can get it done easier, right? The other thing is to like add in little rewards. So, okay, if I can get my t-shirts cleaned out, then maybe I'm going to go buy a new t-shirt, or maybe I'm going to, like, whatever reward you crave, doing something like that. So adding in little rewards for yourself, or when I get done with this, I can call my best friend and tell her about it, or whatever. Another thing that helps me is adding music. All right, I'm going to put on this playlist, and I'm going to just crank this job out, right? Also thinking about why. What is this task you're wanting to do? So if it's losing weight, and you're like, but I love all this food, well, why are you wanting to lose weight in the first place? Because if your why isn't strong enough, you're not going to stick with it. So if I'm wanting to lose weight just because I want them to think I'm skinny or whatever it might be, well, it's not motivating. But if I want to lose weight because I don't feel well and I want to feel better, or losing weight for my health, and if it's a deep enough why, then that makes sense, right? And then that gives you that extra motivation. So if you have tasks on your to-do list that you have no connection to, like no why, then it's not really going to be motivating for you. So dig deeper as to why. Why do I need to get rid of clothes? Well, I have too many. I don't wear them, and I know there's someone else who could use those, and so I can donate those to, X, Y, and Z, wherever. Another thing is just do it anyways. Just do it anyways. Instead of letting that project, letting that thing that you're not starting be in the back of your mind and bother you every day for a long time and stress you out and make you feel bad about yourself because you didn't do it. And instead of like letting that own you, just be like, you know what? I'm finally doing it. Tomorrow, I'm cleaning out that closet and I'm just going to be done with it, right? And then the last thing is like, now's the time. Like, what are you waiting for? What, like, we've actually had extra time lately. What are you waiting for? Why just do it? Like, what's holding you up? Is it because it's hard? Is it because, like, if you can identify why you're not doing it, are you just being lazy? I mean, then that kind of might motivate you, like, oh gosh, I am, So finding why you're not even starting in the first place. But those are just some things I was thinking about, because I feel like as soon as quarantine started, I tackled my to-do list so quickly that then I ran out of stuff. Like, the amount of things that we've found around the house to do just because we've run out of projects and stuff. But I've loved that feeling of after I got it done, I was like, yeah, I can do any of this, right? And so I'm like, maybe, I'm sure there's a lot of people who have projects that they need to be doing who aren't, or have weight or health to get control of, or anxiety, or whatever it is. Just start and just do it now, because now's the time. We're not promised tomorrow. And stop letting that control you, So again, not a professional here. Just wanted to share some tips and hopefully it works for you. Bye, guys.